Dr. Emily Carter's spaceship landed under a crimson sky, casting eerie shadows over the alien landscape. As the ramp lowered, she was immediately greeted by an urgent message from the alien queen. "You're our last hope." The metallic tang of the planet's atmosphere filled Emily's lungs as she stepped onto the foreign soil. She was a renowned human veterinarian, known for her bravery and innovative treatments. Today, her skills would be put to the ultimate test. A group of armored guards escorted her through the bustling streets of the alien city, their expressions a mix of hope and skepticism. Emily's heart pounded as she took in the exotic architecture, gleaming crystals and bioluminescent flora that seemed to pulse with life. Inside the Grand Palace, Queen Zara awaited, her regal presence commanding respect. Her eyes, a deep shade of emerald, reflected both desperation and determination. "Dr. Carter," she began, her voice trembling slightly, "our beloved beast is gravely ill. If you cannot save it, our alliance with Earth could be in jeopardy." Emily nodded, her resolve hardening. "I'll do everything I can, Your Majesty. Please take me to the creature." They hurried through a series of corridors, each more lavish than the last, until they reached a massive door guarded by two imposing sentinels. As the doors creaked open, Emily's breath caught in her throat. There, in the center of the room, lay the beast, a massive, iridescent creature with scales that shimmered like a prism. It was unlike anything Emily had ever seen. The beast's labored breathing filled the chamber, a haunting sound that spoke of immense pain. Dr. Vorik, the alien court veterinarian, stood nearby, his eyes narrowing as Emily approached. "You think a human can succeed where we've failed?" he sneered, his voice dripping with disdain. Emily met his gaze, unflinching. "I won't know until I try. I need access to all your medical records and staff." Queen Zara intervened, her tone firm. "Do whatever it takes, Dr. Carter. We're running out of time." Emily approached the beast cautiously, her mind racing with possibilities. She began her examination, her hands moving deftly over the creature's body. The scales were surprisingly warm, pulsing with a faint, almost rhythmic energy. She took out her scanner, frowning at the unusual readings. "This doesn't match any known symptoms," she muttered, more to herself than anyone else. Dr. Vorik scoffed. "You're wasting time with your primitive methods." Ignoring him, Emily focused on the beast's eyes, which were clouded and unfocused. She needed more data. Turning to Queen Zara, she said, "I need to know everything about its diet, habitat, and any recent changes." As the Queen relayed the information, Emily's mind worked furiously, piecing together the puzzle. She was aware of Dr. Vorik's dismissive glances, but she pushed on, driven by the creature's suffering and the stakes at hand. Hours passed as Emily conducted tests and analyzed data. The tension in the room was palpable, each passing moment heightening the sense of urgency. Finally, she made a breakthrough. An ancient text hinted at a rare ailment that matched the beast's symptoms. "This could be it," she whispered, her heart racing with a mixture of hope and fear. Queen Zara's eyes widened. "You have a plan?" Emily nodded. "Yes, but it's risky. I need your trust and support." The Queen placed a hand on Emily's shoulder. "You have it. Proceed." As Emily prepared to implement her treatment, she felt the weight of the alien planet's hopes resting on her shoulders. The beast's life, and the fate of an interplanetary alliance, depended on her next move. She took a deep breath, steeling herself for the challenge ahead. Emily Carter's hands trembled slightly as she prepared the complex mixture for the beast's treatment. She glanced at the ancient text once more, double-checking the proportions. The room was silent except for the beast's labored breathing and the hum of alien machinery. "Dr. Carter, are you certain this will work?" Queen Zara's voice broke the tension, her eyes filled with hope and fear. "I believe so, Your Majesty. But it's crucial that I administer this exactly as prescribed," Emily replied, her voice steady despite her racing heart. Dr. Vorik loomed in the background, his expression unreadable. Emily could feel his eyes boring into her back, a constant reminder of the skepticism she faced. She couldn't afford any mistakes. As she approached the beast, a sudden noise startled her. The lights flickered, and the machinery beeped erratically. Emily's head whipped around to see Dr. Vorik at a console, his fingers flying over the controls. "What are you doing?" she demanded, her voice sharp. "Ensuring you don't kill our beast with your reckless experiment." Vorik sneered, but his actions told a different story. He was sabotaging her efforts. "Stop!" Queen Zara's command was icy, but Vorik continued, his defiance clear. Emily knew she had seconds to act. She darted towards Vorik, her hands slamming down on the emergency override. The machinery hummed back to life, stabilizing. "Enough, Vorik!" Queen Zara's voice echoed in the chamber. "You're relieved of your duties." Vorik's eyes blazed with anger, but he stepped back, his sabotage thwarted. Emily's heart pounded as she turned back to the beast, knowing the critical moment was now. "Hold still, buddy," she murmured, injecting the mixture into the beast's largest vein. She held her breath, watching the liquid flow into its system. Minutes ticked by. The beast's breathing grew more regular, its eyes clearing slightly. A sigh of relief escaped Emily's lips. It was working. Queen Zara moved closer, her relief palpable. "You've done it, Dr. Carter." "Not yet," Emily replied, her focus unbroken. "This is just the beginning. We need to monitor its progress closely." Over the next few hours, Emily stayed by the beast's side, meticulously recording its responses. Queen Zara sent for additional guards, ensuring no further interference from Vorik. As the beast's condition improved, Emily finally allowed herself a moment to breathe. She turned to Queen Zara, who had been watching silently. "Thank you for your trust, Your Majesty. We're not out of the woods yet, but I'm optimistic." Queen Zara nodded, her regal demeanor softening. "You've earned our trust, Dr. Carter. Vorik's actions will be dealt with, I assure you." Just then, a commotion erupted outside the chamber. The doors burst open, revealing a group of alien officials, their expressions a mix of confusion and anger. "What's the meaning of this?" one demanded, glaring at Emily. Queen Zara stepped forward, her voice commanding. "Dr. Carter is under my protection. She saved our beast where our own failed. If anyone questions her presence, they will answer to me." The officials hesitated, then nodded, their objections quelled by the Queen's authority. Emily felt a surge of gratitude towards Queen Zara. They were in this together. As the officials left, Emily turned back to the beast, her determination renewed. She had faced sabotage and doubt, but she wouldn't let it deter her. The beast's life, and the Alliance, depended on her success. The sound of the beast's deep, rhythmic breathing filled the chamber, a sign of its gradual recovery. Emily Carter allowed herself a rare moment of relief. The ancient remedy was working, but the underlying cause of the illness still eluded her. She needed answers, and time was running out. Just as she was about to delve into her notes, a sudden shout echoed from the corridor. The doors burst open, and a young alien guard, eyes wide with panic, rushed in. "Dr. Carter, come quickly! There's been an incident in the archives." Emily's heart skipped a beat. The archives held the only copies of the ancient texts she needed. She sprinted down the hall, her mind racing with possibilities. Upon arriving, she found chaos, scrolls and data pads strewn about, and a sense of urgency hung in the air. "What happened here?" she demanded, scanning the room. An elder alien scholar approached, his face etched with worry. "Someone tried to destroy the records you were using, Doctor. We managed to save most, but some critical sections are missing." Emily's stomach churned. This was no accident. It was sabotage, likely orchestrated by Dr. Vorik or someone loyal to him. She needed those records to fully understand the beast's condition. "I need every piece of information you can recover," Emily urged. "The beast's life depends on it." The scholar nodded, and his team began meticulously piecing together the damaged records. As Emily watched, a thought struck her. Why was Vorik so determined to see her fail? What was he hiding? Back in the treatment chamber, Emily shared her concerns with Queen Zara. "Your Majesty, I believe someone is trying to sabotage my efforts deliberately. Dr. Vorik's actions go beyond mere professional rivalry." Queen Zara's eyes narrowed. You think there's a deeper motive? I do. And I need to find out what it is before it's too late. Emily's mind buzzed with theories as she returned to the beast's side. She meticulously reviewed every detail, looking for any clues she might have missed. Her persistence paid off when she noticed something odd, a barely visible mark on the beast's scales, near its neck. This wasn't here before, she muttered, examining the mark closely. It resembled a burn, but the pattern was peculiar, almost deliberate. She took a sample for analysis, her curiosity piqued. As the analysis ran, Emily's thoughts returned to the archives. She couldn't shake the feeling that the missing sections held the key to understanding the beast's ailment. When the results came in, they confirmed her suspicions. The mark was caused by a rare substance used in advanced alien technology, something that shouldn't have been near the beast. This is it, she whispered, realization dawning. The beast was poisoned, and the illness was a cover-up. She hurried to Queen Zara, presenting her findings. Your Majesty, the beast's condition was induced. Someone within your court used this substance to poison it. Queen Zara's face paled, anger flashing in her eyes. Who would dare? I suspect Dr. Vorik, or someone working with him. We need to act fast to uncover the truth. Just then, a guard entered, breathless. Your Majesty, Dr. Vorik has fled the palace. Emily and Queen Zara exchanged a look of understanding. The pieces were falling into place, but the danger was far from over. They had to uncover the full extent of Vorik's plans and ensure the beast's complete recovery. The tension in the air was palpable as Emily prepared for the final confrontation. The stakes were higher than ever, and the fate of the beast, and the alliance, hung in the balance. The palace was in an uproar. News of Dr. Vorik's betrayal spread like wildfire, fueling both fear and outrage among the alien court. Emily Carter stood by the beast, her mind racing with strategies. She had to protect the creature and uncover the full extent of Vorik's plot. A sudden commotion at the entrance drew her attention. Queen Zara stormed in, flanked by her most trusted guards. Her regal composure was strained, anger simmering just below the surface. Dr. Carter, Zara began, her voice steady despite the chaos. Vorik has escaped, but we've intercepted a communication. He's planning an attack to cover his tracks. We need to act now. Emily's heart pounded. We need to move the beast to a secure location. Can your guards handle the transfer? Zara nodded. They're ready. What do you need? Time, Emily replied. Time to ensure the beast is stable and can be moved safely. As Zara relayed orders to her guards, Emily turned her attention back to the beast. Its breathing was more regular, but it was still weak. She administered another dose of the remedy, her hands steady despite the urgency. We're almost there, she murmured, more to herself than anyone else. Just hold on a little longer. The room was a flurry of activity as the guards prepared a transport capsule. Emily worked quickly, securing the beast with gentle precision. The capsule's walls shimmered with protective energy, designed to shield its occupant from external threats. Ready, she said, stepping back. Let's move. The procession through the palace was tense. Emily walked beside the capsule, her eyes scanning for any signs of danger. Every shadow seemed to hide a threat, every sound a potential ambush. They reached the secure chamber without incident. The beast was carefully placed in a reinforced enclosure, its vitals monitored by advanced equipment. Emily sighed with relief but knew the true test was still to come. Queen Zara approached, her expression grim. Vorik is on the move. We have intelligence that he plans to attack this very chamber. Emily's jaw tightened. We need to set a trap. Use his arrogance against him. Zara's eyes sparkled with understanding. What do you propose? Let him think he's succeeded, Emily replied. We'll create a decoy, make it look like the beast is still vulnerable. When he strikes, we'll be ready. As they worked, setting up the decoy and positioning the guards, Emily felt a surge of determination. This was no longer just about the beast, it was about justice, about proving humanity's worth to their alien allies. Hours passed, each moment stretched thin with anticipation. Finally, the trap was set. Emily and Zara watched from a hidden alcove, their breath bated. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the chamber. Vorik and his accomplices burst in, weapons drawn. They moved towards the decoy, unaware of the trap awaiting them. Now! Zara commanded. Guards sprang into action, surrounding Vorik and his men. A brief, intense skirmish ensued, but the element of surprise was on their side. Vorik was subdued, his expression a mix of rage and disbelief. You've lost, Vorik, Emily said, stepping into view. Your plans are over. Vorik sneered. You think this changes anything? You're just a human. Emily met his gaze, her resolve unshakable. A human who just saved your planet's most precious creature. As Vorik was taken away, Emily turned to Queen Zara. The beast should make a full recovery now. And our alliance is stronger for it. Zara nodded, her respect for Emily clear. You've shown us the strength of humanity, Dr. Carter. We are in your debt. Emily smiled, exhaustion and relief washing over her. It's been an honor, Your Majesty.